Beautiful. Welcome to Supple Spine Movements. A lot of this 10 minutes is going to be on hands and knees, so just keep that in mind. If you need to grab some blankets or some pillows to put underneath of your shins, now would be a good time to do that. And we are going to start on our mat in table pose. So we want to make sure our foundation is really nice and solid. Tops of the feet to the floor. Spread your fingers nice and wide and place them directly underneath of your shoulders. We're going to start by just taking our body side to side. So leaning into one rib cage and then over to the opposite one. Think of drawing the letter C with your body. Sometimes we'll feel this more in the hips, sometimes more in the rib cage. Feel free to lean into whatever space feels tightest for you today. And then come back to the center, and we're going to go through some cat-cows. So our goal is to find our biggest range of motion here. We're going to inhale to cat to cow pose. So lift your tailbone, gaze forward. Exhale, round your spine. Tuck your tailbone, pull your belly to your spine. Inhale forward. Keep going through this a few times. Once more through each, try to get as big of range of motion as you can, biggest difference as you can between these two poses. And then come back to that neutral table position. We're actually going to come up onto our feet here for a moment. And take your time. Stand with your feet at least hip distance apart, wider if you need to here, and we're going to tee our arms out from our shoulders. Belly to spine, really tall through the top of your head, and just start to move from side to side. So one arm forward, opposite. Our goal is to keep this arm span, keep your arms like you're flying an airplane, side to side. Good job, guys. Once more. And coming back to that teed position. Alrighty, Tadasana in yoga, that's standing with our feet nice and close together, nice and tall through the top of our head, not pushing our bum back, rather tucking our pelvis underneath of us. Try to lift and spread your toes. Our foundation is so important when we're dealing with our spine. We're going to do a chain movement. You're going to start with your chin. Start to tuck your chin and roll your spine down. Use your hands along your legs. Imagine like you're painting along your legs here. You can bend your knees as much as you need to. Allow your arms to be nice and heavy, and then ragdoll your way back up. Stack your tailbone. Stack each vertebrae on top of that. Good job. Go back to feet hip distance apart. I want you to reach just your left arm straight up towards the ceiling, at the same time right arm's reaching down. Open up what's called our side spine. Take a deep breath into that space. One more breath. Good job. Opposite way. Reach your right hand up. At the same time, left hand reaches down. Deep breath into the side body. One more breath. Good job. Come back to center. We're going to come into a forward fold again. I'm going to turn sideways. This time a nice intentional forward fold. So bring your hands to your hips. The wider your feet are, the easier this is going to be. So you can gauge how wide the feet are. Try to keep your legs straight. We're trying to stretch our glutes. So important when we're dealing with low back issues here. Fold forward from these creases of your hips. So lead with your chest. Take your hands wherever you need to your legs, to the ground if you can, and lift up through your sit bones. Try to straighten your legs. Notice how I'm not rounding my back. keep your spine nice and long. Keep your core engaged. And then bending our knees here, relaxing through our upper body. And we're gonna curl back up to standing. Ragdoll your spine. Notice how you engage your core as you come up in this way. All the way back to the top. Awesome. So we're gonna come back down onto hands and knees, that nice strong table pose. Okay, a little bit of twisting here. So just work within whatever range of motion you can. You may not go as largely into this as I'm going to go. I will do it in a modified way to begin with, and then we'll build into it. But just listen to how your back is feeling. Never push any pain that you're feeling through your spine, especially. So these are really good rotations through the rib cage. For your spine, we have to keep our hips on top of the knees here. Bring your left hand just underneath of your nose, okay? Spread your fingers nice and wide. The movement is this. We're gonna inhale and open up. Exhale and reach through. Keep going, so inhale, open. Exhale, reach through. You can build some range of motion if your body allows. Inhale, open. You can look up as well. Look where you're going, follow your hand. One more time, inhale, open. Exhale, reach through. Good job. Come back to a neutral table pose. Switch that hand, so right hand under the nose. A few times opposite way. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach through. I encourage everyone to feel where this movement is coming from as well. Some feel it in the rib cage. Some feel it in the hips, and others more just in the spine itself. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale. Reach through. Great job. Alrighty, so sometimes in our flow classes we'll come into this next stretch from that movement. For the purpose of keeping things just nice and gentle for everyone, we're going to come down onto our forearms and come into this twist from this starting position. So notice how hips are still on top of the knees, tops of the feet to the floor if you can. Pad your ankles up. So if you can't have the tops of your feet to the ground, fill that space. Fill this space underneath of your feet with a blanket or a pillow. We're going to take the left hand, slide it all the way through, and come down onto the side of your face or the side of your head. I'm going to reach my right arm forward. If this is uncomfortable, just ignore. Do not hold your breath here. Breathe from the inside out. One more deep breath. Good job. Slide this right hand back onto the forearm. Come through. You're going to take either child's pose or downward facing dog here. Child's pose, big toes together, knees wide. Or downward dog, push your hips up and push them back. Push way back here. Stretch that low back. Relax your face, just take a couple of deep breaths. And then gently coming back down to that same position, okay? So hips on top of knees, sound like a broken record. Forearms to the mat. You're gonna take right hand, slide it all the way through. Keep breathing, everybody. Take one more deep breath. Great job. Come back to that same starting point. So on our forearms, same options. Child's pose or downward facing dog. Find something that feels really great for your low back, for that lumbar curve. Take one more deep breath in and out. And then gently coming back down to your knees. Alrighty, my friends, the last thing we're gonna do here is come to a seated position. I'm actually gonna stay facing sideways. Just to show you a variation of cat-cow that you can do seated. You can do this in a chair as well. So taking your hands onto your knees, sit up very tall. So sit your body up directly over top of your pelvis. Again, lift yourself up as much as you need to if you can't sit like this. Belly to spine. Exhaling always as we lean back. Inhaling as we draw our heart space forward, okay? So let's start with our inhale. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift up your chest, arch your back. Look way up if you can. Exhale, pull your belly in, lean back, trust yourself here to press all the way back into your shoulder blades. Keep going. Inhale forward. We want to get as much range of motion from tail all the way up through the crown. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale. Cat. Good job. Come back to that nice neutral position. You guys can sit however feels most comfortable through your legs, so crossing them, extending them out in front of you. We're going to do one more side body stretch. Think lateral stretching, so opening up through the rib cage and the side spine, like I say, really helps to build some lubrication and some range of motion all the way through those vertebrae. Okay, so however you feel comfortable sitting, again, this can be done in a chair as well. We're going to take the right hand down. Now tent on your fingertips. What happens if we put our hand nice and flat is we tend to drop into our shoulder. Stay lifted, stay as lifted and elevated as you can, as light in your fingertips as you can. Reach the left arm straight up, okay? It's great just to reach for the ceiling here. If you can start to come across, notice me walking my right hand away from myself. Nice and long in this left side. Make sure you can breathe. Deep breath in. Good job. Come all the way back up and just switch. Take your time. Left hand down, right arm up. Okay? Reach up and away. If it feels natural to start to come into a side stretch, go for it. Reach across. Keep your sit bones nice and connected to the ground. Breathe. And come back to the center. Good. Just give your shoulders a little roll. Give your rib cage a little shake. That is all for our supple spine movement. I encourage you, as always, to move your back. Do not ignore back pain. There are really great chiropractors, really great massage therapists, really great acupuncturists that can help you. I don't feel like anybody should be living with back pain. What yoga helps you do is release some of those muscles that are around it, and not even yoga, but just movement, stretching. And it helps you create really, really good body awareness so that when you go into your practitioners, you can give them some specific feedback. You know, is it left lower backside that's bothering you? Is it directly in the middle of your spine? Just helping yourself by building some body awareness can really be helpful to you in the long run. So I encourage everybody to be very familiar with their spine and take care of yourself. Namaste.